Hi there, I'm Birgit O'Connor and welcome to my studio. Today, I'd like to show you how to paint a very simple lighthouse. You can see this one back here is a bit more complicated and elaborate, but this is the same idea. We're going to work with our tower, get a little shading on one side, and I think that you're going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to loosen up our brush strokes down here, and there's so much that we can do. We can keep it really simple or get elaborate, but at least you're going to have an idea of how to approach it. So let's get started and have some fun.
Let's make some sky color. I'm taking two blues that I think will work, put them in here. I am going to get water on the sky of our painting, and I'm going to go around, and it's tinted so you should be able to see it. I'm going to go around our tower. I'm using a synthetic wash brush so that we have a nice clean angle and I can get up close. I'm just going to go like that, try to get as close as possible, and I'm going to try to avoid a halo. A halo means having it outlined around your image. Let's get that in. I'm going to go back and forth. I usually try to avoid back and forth. Let's go ahead and go around here. This is just a practice. You can always take more time. I want you to get the general idea of how you can go ahead and get your tower. I'm trying to get a little more color in there. I'm going to go right along the tower. So what this is basically negative painting. Okay, let's bring that down. And we want to have enough contrast between the tower and the sky so that way we won't have, we don't need to outline it and the background can separate the tower from the sky, or we'll have to work with the values on the building itself. Okay, so we have lines here. If I don't want those lines, I could take a small spray bottle, get a little more water on that, so the color can move. Now you can see how it's moving. It's pretty dry in my studio today, so I'm trying to make sure that the surface dries evenly. So no one area dries faster than another. And by not having my paper attached to the board, I can go ahead, lift and tilt like this. You can see that one little corner there. And if I need to help it, I can. And I usually try to avoid that. Let's let it run all the way down. Let's see if we can even do this. Okay, so that is pretty much what I was looking for. We've got a nice blue sky. If you want to try to add some clouds, you can. We're going to do other lessons that do have the clouds in it, but the idea was to paint around our tower, and then we're going to come back in and add more shape to this. So let's go ahead and let our sky dry. So let's see. Let's go ahead, get some grass in there, or I'm working my way down. I'm getting a yellow in here, mixing it in with my blue. See if I like this. I take a little ultramarine or French ultramarine blue to tone it down. And again, around the base, I'm going to do a little negative painting. So I'm just going to go around it just like this, because then we have our white base. I can create my shape. And then what I can do is soften those edges. So this will be standing on top of this. Let's soften these edges right here, because the critical part for me to teach you is the tower. All right, so now I don't necessarily want this to be standing on a strange block. So what I can think of is maybe adding some grass up here, or change it here and there, and maybe I'll use a damp brush here. I don't need to do anything fancy because this is not my focus. Now I'd like to get some bricks in there, and using the bricks and a flat brush or a round, but I'm going to prefer the flat brush. As I said that, I'm thinking, how about if I show you how to get some texture in here? And I don't mind if there are blooms down here, that's going to be fine. But if I hold my brush more horizontally like this, I'm going to get texture. And I can change the different values, make it lighter, darker, to get, have it look different. It's great for, this is called a dry brush technique. Now again, I don't want this to sit like that. So I'll take my flat brush and let's go ahead and try to change it somehow. We're just going to dab things on. Now I am not looking at the reference photo, so if you're wondering how does this work with that, it probably doesn't. I'm trying to focus on my tower and show you technique. All right, so I just dabbed, broke it up, and we've got our base. Now you can always take more time and try to add more detail. I don't mind if it bleeds. I think that's going to be interesting. And then for the bottom of our tower, I'm going to go ahead and just get some color in there. We're going to keep this as simple as possible. Okay, and around here. And I don't mind if I lose some of these edges. In fact, that really helps from it looking like a big block. And I'm going to just, I'm thinking, do I like that green? Maybe not that much. I mean, it's okay. I'm playing with my stroke. I don't really want to bring a lot of attention to that. I just want to keep the attention on the lighthouse and the base. Okay, so I'm breaking this up here, and I could try to do more. I could add detail. I would need to let that dry before I do that. The next thing I can consider doing is taking a little bit of water on a number 8. I do now like how this is bleeding. I like those blooms. But if I go ahead and tap a little color, I'm protecting all of this with my hand. It breaks it up. Now, since this is really wet, it just dissolves, so we don't really have a lot of lines there. Here you can see this is dry, so we have a definite spot. So we're just going to go ahead and do this and let it dry for a minute. And what I'm going to do is come up with a color combination that I like, and that is usually a French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, or a burnt umber, either one. And I'm going to lean it more towards the blue. I use this for just about everything, almost. And then I want to get water in my tower. Let's see, do we have any color? We have color in here, just a tiny, tiny bit of tinted water. I'm going to fill my tower in. I'm going to go right over where the window is. Just get water in there. So you can see we've got a dull sheen right in there. So using this color, I'm going to go along the edge. This way, that'll have some contrast against the sky. Just like that. And to avoid it looking like it's just cut in half or feathering too much, then I can take either a 20 or a 30, something, a natural or a blend, remove the extra water. I'm not wringing it out, I'm just removing it. And then I'm going to soften just by pressing a little bit harder. Not too hard, just a little bit. Now we've got some shape. That was super simple. Now let's see how this is doing. It's still damp. Maybe I'll just do a little dabbing and make it more interesting. Thinking of the idea of the sky, I want to bring some of that blue inside here. I could have done that before, I didn't really think about it. I'll just bring a little bit in here. That way we have a tint of color and it'll look like we've got glass up there. If I want this on a cliff, I would leave it alone. But if I want the ocean back here, still on a cliff, but see the ocean instead of just an empty horizon, and in fact, we probably need our horizon anyway. What I'm going to do is take a piece of tape about here, I think. This will be the easiest way of doing it. Hopefully it's straight, because if we try to put it on with our hands, we're going to go off to the one up or down. We're going to be a little off. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want a nice straight horizon? Do I want light in the background? I'm not really sure yet. You can see I'm not trying to be too careful. And I can also hold my brush more horizontally. Be careful that I don't go up to the tower or over into the tower. And I'm going to just go ahead, go along the horizon. Just trying to get some idea. And if I want it to be solid, then I would just go a little darker back there. The nice thing about this is we create possible waves, if that's what you want. And I'm trying to have the sky or the ocean reflect some of the sky color. So those are my thoughts. Maybe I'll go a little darker back here. Go right up there. Now those could be waves, like I said. Let's get some texture. And to prevent it from just looking too straight, I could move my brush or I could clean it up later. Okay, so that should do it. And I could wait for it to dry, or what I'm going to do is just remove it. And even with any irregularities back there, that can look like little waves or different things going on. Now I could take some of this color here, the same color, and clean up my lines. Try to pull out some of those waves if I want, however it makes sense in my mind. And the same thing over here. I don't want too many thin lines, and I don't want too many big areas. We're just playing with this idea. Now that looks like we have a lot of waves back there. And I could spend more time, reshape them. There's lots of things I could do. All right, so this is pretty much what I'm looking for. I still want to add some shadows, and now hopefully that's pretty dry. Let's go ahead and try to take care of that. I'm going back into my shadow color, or the French Ultramarine Blue Burnt Sienna, with a little indigo. Actually, I'm going to try to pull this out, and I would like to rest my hand, but what can happen is I have to be careful of this. And I don't want too many details here. So I'm going to go ahead, rest my hand right here. And I don't want it to look too drawn on, so I'm trying to have enough water in here that it flows well. And I can always clean it up with a smaller brush. Bring it out to those lines as close as possible. And then we have a big base to this. I'm not sure what we call that, but I'm going to go ahead and just put that in. It's not a base, but you get the idea. And then for the very top, I'm going to turn the lighthouse so I can access this area. And if I want more precise lines, like I mentioned, I could always use tape, get the edges just like I did down here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this color up and up, add a little dot. And if I draw like this, it's probably going to be too thick of a line, so I'm just going to suggest that we have that. I'm going to turn my paper so I can access these areas just a little easier and get a little porthole in right there. And then for the rail, and then skip like that. And then we'll go ahead and put these lines in, or try to suggest that they're there, and just use the very tip of my brush to touch the paper, and the same thing over here. Now, I'm not really too concerned about getting exact or detailed. And if that's something that means a lot to you, then you may decide to go in with a smaller brush. Okay, now what I do see down here is that it's not necessarily going to look like a little triangle. It is, but it isn't. We need a lighter value underneath it. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and I don't know if it's dry enough. I'm just going to go right underneath here. That way we have more depth. We're going to suggest a window, and in order to do that, I can really just touch the paper in a couple spots without overdoing it. Just suggest it for a line for a sill, another line up here, maybe a line here. A little bit, not much. If we do too much, then that's all we'll see. Let's see, 1, 2, maybe here and here. You do not have to be exact. My goal for you is just this simple line right there and getting it to roll. So if I want this, then I'm going to go ahead, barely touch the paper, break it up, let it skip. It depends how much you want to do to this. And our base is down here, so I'm going to go right underneath, or on the one side of the shadow, oh sorry, one side of the tower. Just like that. Now that stands up. And then I could reshape this a little bit. I want a lighter value on that side. Don't try to get too fussy with that. You'll be just fine. And maybe what I'll do is, do I want more shadow here or do I want it on the grass? Thinking of the shadow here, I could go darker here, but that's okay. We're not making a fancy painting. We're trying to get the idea. So I want this base to stand out more. So I'm going to go ahead and add a shadow on this side. I could try to do that. I think that's working out nicely. I'm dabbing my brush and changing it a little bit. And now I think it stands out pretty good. I would like to go a little darker here. Some bases will have more of a flat edge, some have rounded edges. So I'll just try to use that idea of the values, and using my number 20, I'm going to just soften just a little bit. Now I could try to do a bit more to the base, but that's not really my goal. So I think those little blades of grass are very interesting there. I think I'll leave that. And thinking about the tower here and the shadow, is that going to be dark enough after everything I've done? I've got the right idea. This is really the goal of what I wanted to do. But let's say I want more shape. Now, this is wet, that is wet. And I did, unfortunately, allow some of that green to spill into my shadow color. I'm not going to worry about it, but what I am going to do is go along this edge with my flat brush to again create more contrast. And we don't want to leave it that way. I'll take my number 20 instead of the 30, because this is not going to hold as much water, and I'll just soften this. Okay, now there is our basic tower. If we take a look at this with a mat on, you'll be able to see it a little easier. It's a very simple tower.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson of the lighthouse. It's really fun and super simple. We just kept our lighthouse there, added a little shadow and shading and some grass on the bottom, and kept things really simple. Now, you can always elaborate on this. You could add a kite in the sky or people walking down below, whatever you like. So until next time, have fun and happy painting.